I'm just going to give you a bit more of an extensive update on what's happening with the bike.
Honfire.com.
I did a little bit of a test run here just to see what the racing stripe would look like from here all the way down the bike, and it doesn't look too bad. So yeah, I did a bit of a test there. I've taken it off since, just using Mets. I ground out the dent, sanded it back to bare metal, and I did try using some EVA foam, which is this stuff here. It's just a really hard, dense, closed cell foam. I glued that into there and then I sanded it to shape, but when I applied the primer over the top, the foam sucked it in and expanded, and you could see the foam because it distorted. So yeah, it was a good try, but it didn't work. So I've gone and bought some proper body filler. This is my first coat, if you will. You can't put too much in, otherwise it doesn't dry. So I've just put the first little coat in to give myself a base, and I'll wait for that to dry, and then I'll just keep building it up until it's oversized, and then I can sand it back to the proper contour. So that's where we're currently at there. I also had made up these stickers, which Sharon at Computer Signs in Palmerston North also did. Honda VTR Racing. I was thinking about painting the wheels, but decided against it and put stickers in, and it looks quite neat when the wheel spins. It gives quite a neat effect. Alrighty team, we're 3 coats deep now. The hole's clearly filled. It's not the prettiest job in the world, but I've sort of been shaping it as I've gone along to try and get some contour so I know how high I need to fill it. This bit here is the final addition, so that'll once it's dry I will use a rasp to take some of it off and get a shape, and then sand it back to all nice and smooth. Then I'll be priming, taping and priming where I need to tape and prime, then painting. So yeah, what I'll try and do is I'll try and do it stage by stage, and just to show you what I'm doing, and rather than just showing you the finished product like I did with this. Okay, so after 4 layers of filler and a fair bit of sanding, I've got it down to the shape I need. What I've done here is I worked this angle here until I got this point matching that point. Then I brought this bit down until it was the same as the other side, which then gave me the depth for this one here. I've still got a couple of little holes here which I'll fill and sand back, but other than that I'm extremely happy. I think it's looking pretty good. I've just got to let it cure overnight, and then I will be sealing it tomorrow, I think. Okay guys, so now I've got the bog or filler all sanded up to where I want it. I've got the design on here, which is the racing stripe. I've removed the fuel cap so I don't get paint on that. Just put a rag in there so that nothing gets into the tank, and I've taped off the bits that I don't want paint on. I've also covered the rest of the bike to protect it from overspray. Yeah, so we're just going to put a bit of primer on now, which is that plastic filler primer, and it will fill all the minor nicks and scratches. I'll come back once I've got that layer on. Okay team, so we're priming up. I've put 2 coats of primer on there already. I know it doesn't look like much, but when you're putting it on, you just want to put a dusting on at a time. I find is the best way, just like this. You want to start spraying before you make your pass, and finish spraying after your pass, so you don't end up with a pool of paint like that. You just want to put a dusting of primer on, or a dusting of paint on, because you don't want it pooling and separating on the bodywork or running. So we're just putting a light dusting on. You don't want to cover everything in one go. You can obviously see I've left the decal on there too. It was going to be too much of a pain in my ass to remove, so I've left that on. So we're just doing nice thin coats like this. Okay, so that's all my priming done now. I'm going to let that dry for a little while. Still got a lot of primer left in this can. It's a Septone primer filler. It's grey. You can get it in different colours. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to clear the nozzle, and if you're not familiar with how you clear the nozzle, you turn the can upside down and you spray until the paint disappears and a clear spray comes out. Then you've cleaned your nozzle. Alrighty, that's the top coat on. It's pretty even. Yeah, I've used one small can. I think it's a 150 gram can, has done the tank, the front and the rear. I'm going to keep the lid, and I'll go and buy another can. Not that I need to use it now, but if I get any scratches or stone chips, I can touch it up with the same colour. So I'll hold on to the lid because it's got the code there, and I'll pick up another can probably tomorrow actually, so I know I've got one there should anything happen. I'm going to let that cure now probably for a good 2 hours, and then I'm going to start putting the top clear acrylic sealer on. Alright, so the top has had time to dry, so what we're going to do is pull the tape off, and hopefully the paint hasn't bled underneath there. We're going to pull the tape off, and then we're going to clear coat over the existing paint and the new paint job in order to remove the very fine bumps that will be created by the spray up against the tape. So we're going to remove the tape very gently, and I'm just going to swap hands because I'm right-handed. Okay, it's bled a little bit, which I can live with. When you pull the tape back, you want to double it over on itself. It tends to pull away a lot cleaner than if you pull up like this. It breaks the dried paint between the tank and the tape and leaves a nice clean line, as you can see there. Okay, so we're going to pull the tape off, and then I'm going to clear coat the lot. Right, when you're pulling the tape off, you'll see I've got a little bit of a feathered edge here. Use a clean finger just to push that down, and it should tack back onto the paint surface, or the unpainted surface, fairly well. That's all the tape off. Before I put the clear on, I've just given the existing paint here a clean with a bit of meths just to get any greasy spots off, to get all the dust off, so that the clear adheres to the surface properly. Be careful you don't get meths onto the new paint, because yeah, that'll mess it right on up. So it's time for the clear now. I've got a multi-purpose acrylic clear which I'm going to put on there. It's fast drying, and it's we're just going to protect the paint from scratches and whatnot. So give the can a good shake, and before you start spraying, give it a squirt off to the side just to clear the nozzle. Go around your edges first. Short, quick sprays, like that. Moving around your job. Like so. And what this is going to do is it's going to, by coating the whole thing, it's going to make it blend in and protect that edge and stop it from chipping. Short bursts, just a dusting. And if you put too much on, what you'll find is it will start dripping and sagging, which you do not want. So I've just about used this whole can. My intention is to use the whole can. You can see it's quite a wet look. That's actually dry. Well, it's dry to the touch. It hasn't cured or hardened. And the reason I'm emptying the whole can onto here is because the paint has to contend with fuel spillages in my tank bag. So I really want that paint to be sealed in and protected. So I think it's looking quite good. I have to wait about a week until I can actually polish that paint to get it really glossy. But I mean, even if the paint dries, or the acrylic clear dries, and I get that effect, I'll still be pretty happy. I think it looks really good. It's come out quite well. There are a couple of imperfections, but hey, no one's perfect. I really should have. I'm regretting not taking that sticker off now because it's very visible. So I might have to get some Firestorm stickers made and put it over the top of this. But yeah, I think the paint's looking alright. There are a couple of little bits of cloth that have gotten onto there which are sealed under, and I didn't pick it up in time. If you do end up with imperfections such as that little line there, if you pick it up fast enough, you just get a craft knife and pick it out, and it's not a problem. But yeah, I'm going to hit this with a hairdryer for probably a good 5 to 10 minutes and get it really dry to the touch. If you want to test to see how dry this is, don't do it here where you might end up with a fingerprint. Do it somewhere you're not going to see, like down here. So this is still quite sticky and tacky. Okay, so yeah, 5 or 10 minutes with a hairdryer. I'll put the rest of the can on, and yeah, then I'll cover the bike to keep dust off it, and yeah, leave it overnight to harden and cure. I have put on all the clear coat, the tank is back on, and I have covered it to keep the dust off overnight while the acrylic clear hardens. Then I'm going to wash the bike, and might try and tempt fate and give it a little bit of a polish. Supposed to wait 5 days, but the back fairing I polished after 2 days, so and that's come up alright. So yeah, we'll see how we go, and yeah, we'll do a video then.